Hello everybody, welcome to a new video. Today we're playing Fnaf. Earlier I was doing the recording but the clock ending wasn't gonna work out, and I did get the key off camera, but that was because the recording failed. Recording is starting to fail all the time at this point now. Bruh, and do when we go burr. I think the unscrew actually worked for once. Thank you, Bonnie.
Suddenly, these cords were striped black and white, like the security puppet from generations. The very foundations of this place, the materials and wires that constituted it, were rebelling against her, against the Afghans, against the quest to bring them all together. And it was being helped by something else, something slithering into the building. They were connected, she was sure, but a blob of living wires could be heard oozing.
Alright, so we're gonna switch up BB, bye-bye, for so RQQX is gonna go, RXQ is gonna be in the first team. Wow, beat member BB is gonna be the second team. Oh yeah.
Even young Gregory, looking to punish the family that had been complicit in its horrible creation. Little did she know, though, that Gregory should have been her biggest concern, that bringing the family together would have some unforeseen consequences. Gregory was normally the goodest of boys. She had literally built him up. Lately, he'd been disappearing more and more often, disobeying her orders, requests. She knew that he loved playing on the arcade machines once the pizza place closed, being so good as to top the leaderboard on practically all of them. But lately, he was nowhere to be found. She suspected this absence had to do with Glamrock Freddy's failed performance the other night, to be malfunctioning
Right.
on the stage, almost as though the core program of the Freddy was
Jackal bombs. Gift box it. Bro, the stupid thing won't work. Jackal. Damn it! F you, Seagoon. Endo army. Jackal bombs. Ha 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 ha. Happy 5th birthday of pizza, games, and cakes. Open up your presents until yours all be eggs. And you're 1 year older on your special day until the song is over. Sober, you'll be on your way. Happy 5th birthday of pizza, games, and cakes. Open up your presents until your tummy aches. Jackal bombs, fourth wall, jackal bombs, gift boxes. Screw bite, Endo army.
nails it, or Mrs. Afton. Could it be someone completely new to the franchise? Absolutely yes, but in a game with so many returning faces and repeated themes, it would be pretty random and arbitrary. So, between these two girl bosses, who then would it be? Well, Elizabeth always wants to please her daddy, so she'd be most likely wanting to bring him to life. Then, what's Vanessa's role in all of this? Vanessa is clearly meant to be a parallel for Elizabeth. Same hair, same eyes, similar backstories, but if the main goal is getting the Afton family back together, which seems to clearly be the case in Security Breach, then there's no need for Vanessa to be involved at all. We already have Elizabeth running the show. It would also mean that we suddenly have two robot kids running around, which feels narratively repetitive and quite frankly kind of dumb. Now look at Mrs. Afton. We know next to nothing about her outside of any clues that we can get from Immortal and the Restless and Melora's song. But what her being head of Fazbear does is make every other piece of the lore fit. Suddenly, you can have one of every other type of character. One robot kid in Gregory, one brainwashed human in Elizabeth/Vanessa, one OG corpse in William, and one possessed animatronic in Mike. Narratively, it makes everything else cleaner. Legally, it's also the option that makes the most sense. As I call out my narrative, she'd likely have some stake in the original company and all of its assets. So as Fazbear folds as a company, I'd suspect a lot of it would return back to her. But there was one clue that really sold me on this particular direction, and that was this right here, in the post-it room. The big lore central of Security Breach, a dinner table scene with the whole family, including the mother. And not only is she there, she is at the head of that table, a position of highest honor and responsibility. She is the one in charge, with William being relegated off to the side. That one scene shows that we have to include Mom in there somewhere, and the only place it makes sense for her to be is at the top. Now, there is one big dilemma with my interpretation of all this. The Ultimate Guide really seems to point out that the head of Fazbear doesn't want the glitch trap virus to spread. They call out one particular email that Fnaf AR, the legal team, calls a cease and desist all action about scanning the circuit boards. And even in Fnaf VR, we're told that the circuit boards get stolen back by the client, presumably because they realize what danger is on there. Trying to stop glitch trap before he spreads and gets out of hand. The problem with that, though, is that Fazbear doesn't want Afton to rise again and increase the family in the first place. Why'd they build over the
Mr. in the bundle, Mr. in the bundle, Mr. in the bundle.
It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It would be the most inconsistent series of actions ever, but I did want to call attention to it since it seems to be the route the official guide is trying to steer us towards. Moving on to minor point number one, the Five Nights at Freddy's games were made by the Rogue indie developer. Here's the thing, Fnaf VR opens with this line.
That's why we have recreated many of these completely fictitious scenarios, lies that you've been fed over the last several years, into a hilarious VR game.
It's recreating the lies told to you by the indie developer. And since Help Wanted has direct recreations of FNAFs 1 through 3, it means the games must be part of the fabrications that this developer made up. Also, all of this is heavily implied in the story of the same name, Help Wanted Pizzaplex, hence FNAF 1 through 3 canon games within the lore of the series. Big swing number two, the elephant, or ghost in the room, Charlie infecting the Pizzaplex. John from the channel FNAF has some great findings about Charlie's influence over the Pizzaplex, the cables that can flip the striped arms of the puppet, the nightmare plushes that you find hidden across the Pizzaplex and places, the staff bots with creepy smiles and in your dreams ring up front. All of these things scream puppets. Plus, the puppet mask not having tears and blob seems to imply that Charlie's spirit exists elsewhere. She is still playing, and she has an important role, especially in the post-it room. The doors to the post-it room in the game's code are called Charlie doors. And inside, we see a bunch of lit up nightmare staff bots. Suspicious, to say the least. The channel Ivy's Fantasy did a great viewing look at the post-it notes, concluding that the crime child / Gregory isn't alone in this room, but rather might be communicating with someone. A spirit, Charlie. Charlie's spirit seems to have pulled a poltergeist. Instead of controlling one thing, she's affecting a lot of little details, foundational elements in the Pizzaplex. And this isn't the first time that we've seen this in the franchise either. We've seen
Endo Bendo, no! You killed my friend. You killed my brother. Oh, shh.
and I suspect that to some extent it might be Charlie's.
My last Jackal Bomb.
Which brings me then to my final, probably biggest
Jackal Bombs,
controversy
go!
in Snap history, Gregory as Patient 46, the evil robot mastermind. Now,
Pizza
I know
wheel.
when this came out, but this
Damn it, pizza wheel didn't work.
bad. But here's the thing, you don't have to take my evidence.
Megabytes.
The recent tales from the Pizzaplex
Marco. No, Chica.
outright proofs. In GGY, Gregory is getting
Pizza wheel, pizza wheel.
Pizzaplex arcade machines. When therapists start to go missing, it's GGY is the one that's working to bump them off. And when animatronics start getting corrupted by a mysterious glitch, GGY's letters cause him to either lose his memory or be reset in some way. Maybe it was Charlie talking to him in his post-it room. Maybe he hit his head. Maybe it was the connection that he made with Mike on stage in Glam Rock Freddy. Not exactly sure, and I don't think we have enough clues to solve any of it yet. But it makes sense from a story perspective why he'd start off evil on Afton's side and then switch to trying to destroy him and not knowing who he is in security breach. And with that, my friends, I'm wrapping this thing up. Congratulations, we are on page 40. 22,000 words of Fnaf, baby. Practically just wrote myself a Tales of the Pizza Flex short story. Have I answered everything? No. Does everything fit cleanly? No. But does it feel like the best and most cohesive narrative for all these characters that addresses most of the evidence we're given? Yeah, for me, honestly...
Come on, we can do this, Jekyll Bombs. Come on, RQQX, gotta go, gotta go. Get boxes! No matter what, we have to keep our RQX Shadow Bonnie alive, like no matter what. Shoot. Gift boxes. Switch. Bite. Bite 2. Megabytes. And fourth wall. Jekyll Bombs. Jekyll Bombs. Shoot. Gift boxes. Woo. This is getting tense. Damn it, gotta switch. Jekyll Bombs. Jekyll Bombs. Fourth wall. Damn it! RQQX! Damn it! RQQX! We need the gift boxes! Christ! Endo Army Power! Pizza Wheel! Fourth wall! No! RQQX! Jekyll Bombs! Yes! RQQX made it good! You're the best! RQQX had to sacrifice himself for the greater good, and he's back alive now.
Internet, welcome to Game Theory, the show that's full of so much agony from analyzing Fnaf, will probably bring its own animatronic to life. Maybe then I'd finally get a vacation. So, you're cold open, there's a new Fnaf book, there's a new Fnaf teaser. But before I get to any of that, there's one topic that
it's Scott
from security breach. Everyone's favorite massive animatronic parts and black tentacles, or as I like to call them,
that's the real dedication. Oh god, I'm over here to 10 pounds again, no more. I'm not you. They're always an overachiever in the bunch. I guess that's you. Ah yes, sir, gift. You may lay it at my feet. Ah, just hit me with a chopstick. Is this a joke? This makes me angrier than the people you only use and it's when you mean it is. Gift boxes. Why did you not use gift boxes? Gift boxes. Bite. Damn it, RQQX! Go faster! Jekyll Bombs! Bite! Are you QX? Dude! Come on! Are you QX? What are you doing? Fuck! Damn it! No fuck! Stupid. A case of crap.
Or a dead giveaway here. Peeking out is also Fnaf 1's body. Notice the coloring of it and the lack of rosy cheeks. We also have a few random arms and legs popping out. These all match the style of Fnaf 1 animatronics. Notice the 3 toes on the feet and the 3 fingers and thumb with no joints on the fingers and hands. That's about all that you can make out from this game. But if you extract the in-game model and look at all the other sides, you find that there's a lot more hidden here. Mangle is hanging out directly opposite Freddy's face. And if you look closely, you can also find its rib cage, arm, and 2 of its feet hanging out elsewhere. Low on one side of the blob is the puppet's mask, except it's missing one major detail. The iconic tears are gone. That is a huge clue that we're going to need to address. And finally, we have Circus Baby. Again, that is a huge detail that
We're gonna need to level up our characters.
Baby's arm is also hanging around inside this thing. We know it's definitely Baby's and not Funtime Freddy's because Baby's hands have rounded silver tips on fingers, just like we see here. Like I said, it is a real mishmash of animatronics. It's almost like Steel Wool wanted a one-stop shop for FNAF's greatest hits. And weird details like Baby's eyes being extinguished and the puppet's missing tears feel like the game trying to tell us something, but what? Well, after identifying each and every arm and leg sticking out of this thing,
No!
one animatronic in the spaghetti that really got my Matt Pat tingle going. This guy right here, hidden away at the very bottom of the mess, is a naked endoskeleton consisting of a single animatronic head, 2 arms, and a missing eye, with a body position that looks like it's desperately trying to pull itself out. His position right at the bottom also felt like he was intentionally hidden, the kind of thing that you would overlook a few times, but clearly he's meant to be important. He's the only animatronic in this mess that's missing an eye, but his other eye is illuminated, which immediately puts him on the same level as the more iconic characters that we see absorbed into this bizarre amalgamation. So, who is it? What is it? Just a random endoskeleton? No, couldn't be. But to know for sure, I had to look closer. My first instinct was that it must be Golden Freddy. I mean, looking at the roster of characters inside the blob, pretty much every major animatronic is represented in some way. Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, Boxy, Puppet, Baby, all of them are here, but Golden Freddy is strangely absent. Plus, with the animatronic only having one eye, I thought that maybe it was discreetly hinting at the fact that while the Crying Child spirit was released in the good ending of FNAF 3, another spirit remained trapped in metal. Cassidy, the vengeful spirit, still here, still angry. It felt very reminiscent of the 2 endings of FNAF 3. In case you don't recall, FNAF 3 was the first game in the series to introduce a good and bad ending. Finding all the secret minigames led you to Happiest Day. The souls of the dead kids are put to rest and we're given a final image of unlit animatronic heads. But if you just
Gonna get all the chips that we can.
Image of those exact same masks, each one with one eye lit up. A spirit remains in each body. Well, all of them except for Golden Freddy's mask in the background, which has 2 eyes lit. 2 eyes for 2 spirits, and in intervening years, 1 has been released. However, despite lots of pieces thematically lining up, there was one glaring issue here. Golden Freddy doesn't have himself an endoskeleton. He's a spring-locked suit. It's why Golden Freddy is always hunched over. He has no skeleton, no frame, one covered up by an eye patch. Same thing for Withered Foxy. Maybe it could be Lefty, the strange black animatronic bear from Fnaf 6 that's designed like captured with a puppet. Nope, the eye that's missing is on the wrong side. You know what? Forget it. Maybe it is just a random endoskeleton because why not? It's security breach. But you know what? It's not that either. You see, Fnaf 1 endoskeletons are canonically more boxy and streamlined, not this guy. The body in the blob is actually closer to the
Remember
endo
Chico.
models that we see used in Fnaf 2. Those have thin spring-like coils around their main skeleton. But even then, what we see in the blob is different. Notice the thick round discs that are directly connected to the skeletal structure. You don't see that in Endo O2s. It's almost like these things' arms are actually its legs. But that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, or does it? Because there is one animatronic that actually has hands connecting to leg joints. One with an Endo O2 head that's missing its right eye. One with wires hanging out the side and with 4 rounded fingers at the end of each hand. It is the Mangle. Just, you know, Mangle's other weird guy who's just kind of hanging out over there on the body. It is a direct match. Okay, gotta be honest with you, I was excited to identify this mystery animatronic, but also, yeah, disappointed. This weird animatronic that's trying to pull stuff out of the bottom of the blob feels like it should mean something special, but Mangle being the answer just feels empty. But yeah, you already know Mangle's in this thing. The head is very obvious on the body. So, like so much else inside of this game, it was a mystery that led to a dead end. But hey, now that we have the complete definitive roster of who's inside this thing, we can actually start to figure out why they're inside this thing. Because these are some weird picks. Last we left everyone, Freddy and Scrap Baby. So why do we now have older versions of these animatronics inside the blob? Also, era animatronics mixed in when none of these older models were a part of Fnaf 6's fire. Can someone please just use anything other than fire to kill these things? But at first we don't try again, but at a certain point you just gotta like cut it off and be like, you know what? Maybe there's something else. Silver bullet, steak at the heart, garlic, just literally anything. Honestly, this was the main reason I didn't want to cover the blob. Just felt like one big continuity error. But now that I've come to the end of my sanity trying to determine what animatronic a finger belongs to, I think an answer has presented itself to me through the darkness. And you know what? I was wrong. Dead wrong. So the opening area of Security Breach is Rockstar Row, and it's full of memorabilia from the past pizzerias. You got stuff like OG Foxy's torso and jaw placed inside of display cases. There's also Bonnie's guitar, Freddy's bow tie, Chica's cupcake, even random stuff like Chica's feet or animatronic leg pieces. But it's not the items that are there that are interesting, it's the ones that are missing. If you look closely at these display cases, the majority of them have at least one missing item with a small description plaque in front of the empty space. Unfortunately, we can't see what exactly is on the plaques, but if torsos and feet are being displayed, then it isn't too hard to imagine that these could have been the heads, masks, arms, items that have been collected and added to the blob. In fact, that would explain why it's Circus Baby and Funtime Freddy heads inside of the...
My previous life is like a faint shadow.
blob instead of Scrap Baby and Molten Freddy.
But sorry for the less commentary. I'm just trying to focus on this.
Remember that Fnaf sister location ended with all the animatronics teamed up to form Enter, a literal tangle of wires and eyeballs, and that was pretty much it. But once Enter was puked up and Baby got voted out of the team, that tangle of wires this interrogation Scrap Baby and Freddy creatures created from little trash, not official versions of the characters. As far as Fazbear Entertainment memorabilia is concerned, the Circus Baby mask and Funtime Freddy head, they're the latest versions of those characters. They're put on display for fans of the series to see. Parts that this tangle of black goo could steal from the displays and absorb into its own being. Same with the OG suits and Mangle Body. Scrap Baby and Molten Freddy, meanwhile, they're unofficial characters. They were never created by Fazbear Entertainment or displayed inside of a pizzeria. In short, I'm sorry, Steel Wool. I'm not sorry about a lot of the things I've said about some of the lore decisions in this game, but in this individual case, I'm sorry that I assumed that this was just a sloppy continuity error when in actuality, it was a lot more thoughtful than I could have ever expected. We just didn't give you enough benefit of the doubt here. So, like an overeager Funko Pop collector, there's a tangle of black wires lurking in the Pizzaplex hunting for souvenirs from the franchise. And believe it or not, this actually lines up with a random detail from a new kid in the third Fazbear Frights book. As a group of kids are exploring an abandoned Freddy's restaurant, we get this line. Quote, while they were in the bathroom, Devin was...
Why am I hearing the battle like the victory battle music?
That is the line, and it never pays off.
I know
Not in
I'm
this
just
story,
hearing it.
not in this book, not in the entire book series. So
Ah,
the story actually actually winds up being the Golden Freddy story, strangely enough. But it leaves Chekhov's tentacle monster just sitting there in the walls waiting to be used. Probably because it was meant to pay off in Security Breach, a game that was originally meant to release closer to that story's publication. But the repeated delays in Security Breach threw all of that synergistic programming off. Alright, so we know why physically looks the way it does, but really, what are these tentacles? Well, that's where the puppet mask missing tears comes in. I think we're all familiar with this thing's story, right? In the aftermath of kids getting killed at Freddy's restaurants, the creator Henry institutes a security program in the form of the puppet. In Fnaf 6, we literally see this thing called Security Puppet. Sadly, Henry's daughter Charlie is killed outside of the confines of the restaurant. The puppet finds her too late and lies down beside her in the rain, and the two become one. And in Fnaf 6, the last official time that we see this character, it comes complete with tears in its eyes. In fact, in every iteration of the character, the puppet mask has tears. Or should I say almost every iteration. Look at the security puppet minigame from before Charlie's death. The mask has no tears. It's only after Charlie dies and the thing is possessed that tears suddenly form in the mask. Tears mean that Charlie's soul is inside of this thing. But now, there are no tears left on the mask because Charlie's soul has been released. She's no longer inside Security Puppet. When Henry burned everything at the end of Fnaf 6, it worked. Kinda. It freed all the souls that were trapped inside of the metal. This coincides with what we see in blueprints for Remnant. Overheating might neutralize the effects permanently. However, it didn't work all the way. There's one thing that Henry's fire didn't account for. Something that it didn't purge: agony. You see, Remnant's soul metal might be the focus of the game, but it isn't the only powerful force that drives this franchise forward. The other is actually found within the pages of the Fazbear Frights books: agony. Now, it's important to distinguish the difference between agony and Remnant. I've seen a lot of places using the terms interchangeably, but in Fazbear Frights, they're explained to be distinctly different. Remnant is all about the soul. When an animatronic becomes possessed, that spirit literally becomes attached to the metal. That metal can then be melted down into a substance that Fazbear Frights describes as a boiling liquid mercury, aka Remnant. You inject that metal into your animatronics, it suddenly brings them to life using the power of the original souls. Compare that to agony. He states that agony, quote, has a greater energetic radius and power than any other emotion. I've done numerous experiments to measure, capture, contain, and study the leftover emotion embedded into objects that were near tragedy. The book even goes so far to explain that the items Phineas has collected weren't possessed by ghosts or spirits, but instead were energized by agony. So when someone feels agony, it doesn't just stay with them, it can infect inanimate objects around them and linger there. In other words, powering them, the agony they felt while being murdered remains attached to the suit. That's why the blob's interested in collecting the suits. It's not collecting spirits, it's collecting agony. By combining them, it becomes more powerful. All the pain and suffering of the children.
That does very impressive justice. So they add savory seasoning and tempting berry flavor to every delicious twist.
Hello, Internet. Welcome to Game Theory, the show that started so many flame wars and then more of Pizza. So right now we're in the middle of re-examining every piece of Fnaf lore the series has ever produced in order to construct a definitive timeline for the series, or I suppose as definitive as possible for the series, considering, you know, it's Fnaf. That means that me and Tom and head editor Dan are combing over every misleading teaser, every line of hidden website source code, every page of the novels and their accompanying graphic novels, and every questionable skin from Fnaf AR from Big Chungus Springtrap to Statue of Liberty Chica. Because nothing says America quite like rebranding a national monument with a giant toga-wearing murder chicken shilling for pizza. And our forefathers wept. Anyway, since this is an absolutely massive quest, we broke the time down into 3 or 4 chunks. Foundation of Freddy, the Afghan era, and the Purple Guide.
This is getting me.
Hello, Internet. Welcome to Food Theory, the show that's not here to make you cry. Whether you're a casual cooker, celebrity master chef, what common kitchen conundrum that we all know about? Cutting onions is a fry. You have everything else ready, you grab your onion, you make a slice, and suddenly you're tearing up faster than you is launched inside out. Oh, don't forget your meatballs. And clearly people are sick of it, with everyone across the interwebs coming up with their own at-home hacks to circumvent the sting.
This is how to cut onions without crying.
Have you ever wondered how to cut an onion without crying? It's easy. Just take your time, Alex.
Save your tears for another day.
Watching some of these, like, just look ridiculous. There's no chance that any of this stuff actually works, right? And even if it does stop you from crying, is it really worth it? Because let me tell you, I don't mind being the guy that's trying to pop it or clear my food, but I'd at least want to know that I'm doing it for a reason. Which brings us to today. Today we're putting onion cutting cry hacks to the test. The good, the bad, and the ugly. And I'm not doing it alone either. I'm bringing in our food theory creative director, Santi, to go through this tearful experience with me. Just 2 men in the kitchen cutting onions together. Seems like a good bonding experience. Who's cutting onions in here? Oh wait, it's us. So do any of these have a chance of working, or are the online solutions gonna stink just as bad as our favorite vegetable? I don't know, but we're gonna find out. Now, before we dive into the experiment, the recipe calls for 2 tablespoons of science. Why do we cry when cutting onions? Probably a good thing to know before we start testing ways to stop that process from happening. Well, crying can result from 2 different forms of stimuli, emotional and chemical. And unless you're building up an emotional attachment to your onions before you slice them, I think we can rule that first one out, safely putting onion cutting into the chemical category. The reaction happens in the trigeminal nerve, which you might remember from our brain freeze episode. Basically, this is a massive 3-branch nerve in your head that works with your eyes, your nose, and your jaw all at the same time. The sensory endings of the trigeminal nerve can detect chemicals and keeping the chemicals out of our eyes and clean from irritations. So that's our body's response, but what exactly is in the onion that's causing all this irritation? To answer that, we have to go to the roots of our root vegetable here. You see, onions are grown underground, where they lay victim to any number of animals who want themselves an afternoon snack. So, to prevent getting munched on, onions have evolved to have a natural defense system. The cell walls of an onion are filled with pockets of an enzyme called alliinase. When that cell wall breaks down, like say when an animal takes a bite or a human makes a cut, these pockets rupture, causing all that alliinase to react with the onion's amino acids to create sulfenic acid. The chain reactions goes on there. The sulfenic acid then reacts with another enzyme to create a chemical known as methyl S oxide, a gas that irritates the eyes and causes the tear ducts. Basically, the onion is equipped with natural tear gas and set off that bomb by cutting.
Alright, so we got some more chips. We need more.
Either protect our eye glands from the tear gas, absorb the gas before it hits our eyes, distract the trigeminal nerve away from protecting our eyes, or somehow preventing the gas from getting made in the first place when the cell walls get ruptured. This then segues nicely into our hacks. Today we're going to try 7 of the most popular hacks that we found online, ranging from the scientific to the insane. So let's just cut to the chase and cut some of them.
That's what US Bank is for. Yep, somehow.
Alright, Mr. This cereal is totally tubular. Wouldn't you agree, 90s Kid 2?
Couldn't agree more, 90s Kid #1. This cereal's the bomb.
What do you think, 90s Kid 3? Cereal's fine. I'm just wondering why we're eating breakfast in a heavily graffitied alleyway. Like, did one of you actually carry these bowls, silverware cereal all the way from your house to this heavily graffitied alleyway? We're overthinking this, dude. Did we eat here spontaneously? Did we actually call each other to rendezvous for breakfast in a heavily graffitied alleyway?
Dude, it's the 90s, okay?
Stop saying heavily graffitied alleyway. Why is only one of my overall straps buckled? Where are our parents? What we like. Now, I started this channel as a way to tackle the big questions in the world of food. Is a hot dog a sandwich? How many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll Pop? Does Chuck E. Cheese actually recycle its pizza? And does every 90s kid who ever ate cereal in a heavily graffitied alleyway knows there's no bigger unanswered food question than this?
Actually tastes like, well, apple?
That's right. Today's food theory is finally answering a question that's been lingering since Apple Jacks was introduced back in 1965. What does it taste like? Now, since the very beginning, Apple Jacks has said that its cereal is
Nintendo.
they still make today and on the box itself. But as their famous ad campaign from the mid-90s points out, cinnamon and apple aren't the flavors that actually stand out when they hit your taste buds.
I don't get why you got the cereal called Apple Jacks that doesn't taste like apple.
once considered that maybe, just maybe, the animatronics are the ones who should be afraid of us. Hello, Internet. Welcome to Food Theory, the show that knows that you can't spell animatronic without P-I-Z-Z-A. Hold on. In case you're new here, let me catch you up. I like pizza, I like animatronics, and I like murder. All right, probably should phrase that last one better, but you know.
Reese's Cups are now stuffed with Reese's Puffs. Reese's.
Celebrate the new year with savings. Like this honey glazed. Be a great 2020.
Alright.
Where's that?
Strawberry and
Do you mean blue raspberry?
No, cause blue raspberries aren't a real thing. Not a real thing. So can I ask what
Eat.
to shout the truth out of you. Are you betraying the fine of justice? No. Are you? No. You? No. You? You? No. Think about that.
Let's try to get to the shadow thing.
I'm the camera person.
Somebody here is betraying the spine. I want to find out a real way to shock the truth out of us. You are in the hot seat. I hooked up this shocking device to my lie detector, which is hooked up to my laptop, measuring your heart rate.
How legit is this? I've never seen this device before, this pulse thing.
It's super legit. Not only am I going to tell for sure if you're lying, you're going to get
Cool. Let's test with some like baseline questions.
Alright, is your name
Yes. Just ask.
Alright, you found
this is a perfect chapter.
this. It does mean those.
Just kidding. It's just
Alright, so how do I get to the how do I get to the Nightmare Freddy.
It's a crucial part of the puzzle that tells us my friends and I will soon escape our prison, and there will be chaos. But what exactly does this message mean, and how does it relate to our chapter?
Alright, we're gonna
This mystery connects back to exactly what we see at the end of Garden of Eden. That tells us how our future games are going to play out. The naughty ones will actually escape their prison as chaos emerges right as the naughty ones put out light, which prompts us to leave the level of the kindergarten alongside Shared Toaster, exactly like we're told to in the message. That's not all. We're also told by the naughty ones, my fight is not with you. This is your only one, which actually spells out to us what to expect in Garden of Banban 6. Specifically, you see the naughty ones are saying this specific line to the jester as they tell the person who receives this mysterious message, you are my savior. Thank you. Meaning, who else would the naughty ones be talking to if not the person who read them? They can't be talking to us in this message. The jester is the one who actually freed the naughty ones from their prison while we were attempting to stop him from doing so. Meaning he is not the one that the naughty ones would be after, we are. Again, looking ahead at what we know for this upcoming chapter, we're told every single new monster is going to be an enemy, not now, which would 100% include the naughty ones since the teaser for chapter 6 tells us
party?
we're directly told that the naughty ones are on the jester's side. Furthermore, there could be some of the mysterious monsters that are meant to show up in the wall. This one here, the same wall that plays a huge role in chapter 6 that we still know has room for new additions on either side, which obviously means more enemies to come across. But one of our biggest aspects of this whole thing is actually going to be chapter 5. This chapter meaning the events in Garden of Banban 6 are the events that come directly after what we see in Garden of Banban 4, which means we need to know what happens inside. It turns out, this chapter
It's like in the window. It's in the window 2.0.
this is why the official Garden of Banban members decided to launch the teaser for the 6th chapter before the 5th. The 5th Garden of Banban installment is actually meant to be a prequel to all of our other games, meaning a game before them. It's going to be explaining all of the events that lead up to our vicious monsters and what went wrong in the kindergarten, because we know the Meet a Friend Day incident is the reason behind everything involved in these games. It's even listed right here in one of our new teasers. In Garden of Banban 5, we're meant to explore the actual incident that took place and what exactly caused the children we're trying to find to go missing in the first place. We know the ball collapsed and had something to do with the awakening of monsters, but we still don't have all the details regarding the kindergarten's mysterious past. This is why our preview of this chapter is also met with a sort of red hue covering the screen, as if it's meant to show us we're going to be seeing things through someone else's eyes in the past. It's exactly like how we're given a different view from our master's perspective in Garden of Banban 3, when we move around the kindergarten as Stream of Flame. Meaning it could very well be something that the Ford brothers bring back to try to provide and explain the whole
Yeah. Couldn't get some useful chips.
When the world gave them setbacks, science gave them bounce backs. And when your
We
phone
will be
delivered
a good
life-altering
one.
news, there's some loud banging in the bedroom here. What the? Melvin, what are you doing here? You're supposed to be doing community service, man.
And you know how I do. Instead, I got so many banger TikToks that are guaranteed to make you laugh.
I don't laugh at TikToks. Those things aren't funny.
If I can make you laugh 3 times, you let me hide away. Please, here in the same house.
Well, if I make you laugh 3 times, go back to community service and give me 3, man.
All right, well, let's see it. Anything more than a smile counts as a laugh. 3 strikes you out.
Oh, gosh, no fire. Ready.
Alright, get back in. And dancing bunny rabbit, shiver down your spine. This is what you better hide. I'm back here because I realized I forgot it. I'm gonna do the boss fight. Alright everybody, that's it for today's video. Hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!